by David Robinson is waved off. Call it goaltending. Credit the basket to Kersey. Let's look at him the other end.
There you go. You see he's able to get the position where he's down fairly low. Buck didn't deny it. He's able to just turn and get about a 7-8 foot jump shot. Down the other end, let's watch the block. If the ball hits the glass, that's why it's goaltending. Then from this angle, it's hard to say, but that's what the official said, that it hit the glass first, and then David came and took it away for the goaltending call.
Robinson with 10 on the shot clock, draws the double team, spins to his right. Doesn't get the bounce. Big rebound by Cummings. Terry Cummings is the leading scorer in the playoff series against Portland, averaging 27-2 a game for the Spurs.
And right now, no pressure on the part of the Spurs on the backcourt for the Trailblazers.
Cliff Robinson, big rebound from behind Cummings. Gets the spin and the basket. He has 4. Cliff Robinson. It's tied at 8. Rod Strickland for 3.
That's the Cummings foul as he tried to get to the offensive boards.
We were talking about that double overtime victory, 138-102 by Portland up there in Portland. Spurs were down 22 points in the third quarter. As you see, 6 players fouled out of that ball game. Rick Adelman says it took a lot out of his club.
Yeah, no question about that. A lot of guys, again, playing a lot of minutes. He's concerned about the effort they're going to put forth, but these guys will respond. They're in great shape, great athletes.
Cliff Robertson from Drexler. Drexler comes up with a loose ball. The pass to Porter. The triple is good by Terry Porter. It's 11-8 Blazers.
That's what the Blazers want to do. They just want to hang around and stay close. They figure the longer the game goes, if it stays close, more pressure on the Spurs to have to win.
Pass from Robinson into Strickland, who finally got it to Sean Elliott for the lay-in. Blazers continue to lead by 1, 11-10. San Antonio had jumped out 4-0. Kersey left alone over in that corner. He hit one of them, has missed the other 2.
Yeah, he's getting better, but he's still got a long way to go.
Terry Porter. This is the three-pointer this time. Offensive rebounds. Kersey in the paint. Drexler. The nice feed to Buck Williams. Talk about ball movement. 3 seconds because of one pass per minute.
And that's because of one huge center in the middle by the name of David Robinson, who forced the extra pass.
Larry Brown, the head coach of the San Antonio Spurs. Timeout on the floor. 7:09 to go first quarter.
As it was higher, you're going to have a distinct advantage there.
10 on the shot clock for the Spurs, trailing by 1. Now 5 on the shot clock. Strickland couldn't get it done down low. Good defense by the Portland Trailblazers, leading it by 1. Drexler with the penetration and the handoff to Kersey. Kersey now with 6 points. Elliott left alone for the 18-footer. Now the crowd, it's going to be a factor here in terms of sheer noise. This place ranks right in with Charlotte and Chicago. I don't know which one's louder, but
I'll tell you, Philly was pretty loud the other night down there.
They come and go, though. This place is always loud. Down to Robinson. And he got the bounce again. Nice soft touch by the youngster from Connecticut. Rebound Anderson. He's got 6 points.
And right now the Spurs doing a great job on their offensive boards. Something that they really need to do, because Portland has outplayed them so far in this game, even in that opportunity.
Porter curls off a baseline screen for the 12-footer. Terry Porter. He has 5 in this game. Kersey, Robinson, and Porter have scored all the points for Portland. Everybody starting for San Antonio has scored, save for Strickland, who gets an opportunity here. Buck Williams corrals a loose ball to Terry Porter.
Well, I still don't see the defensive intensity that I think is necessary for a playoff team to be able to take a game and just take it away from another team.
Kersey just hung around. Nobody from San Antonio could control that ball. And now it belongs to the Blazers, leading this by 3 with 4:53 to go in the first quarter. Portland doubling the rebound total of the Spurs thus far in this ball game. Buck Williams inbounds wearing the glasses because of the eye injury suffered. David Robinson against Williams. Williams has done a good job on him defensively, but not this time, as David Robinson shows you his lightning quickness to the basket.
I mean, it's so difficult for Buck to be able to stop him. Such a size advantage for David as he makes the good move into the middle. You see the quickness and the nice finger roll as he just is able to go right up over the top of Williams.
23-2 in this series, 10 rebounds a game, 4 blocks a game. Probably more significant than even those other statistics.
And a number of intimidations. We saw one. He didn't get a block for it, but he caused that 3-second violation just a short while ago.
10 on the shot clock for the Blazers. Pass inside to Buck Williams, who couldn't hold on to it. Cummings has it. Willie Anderson hits it from the corner. And the Spurs have regained the lead, 18-17. Anderson has 8 points. They were wondering whether he would be effective at all in this ballgame. It has not bothered his shooting at all to have the dislocated left thumb. Buck Williams in the paint. Kersey kicks it back to 40 to Robinson from 16. Feed inside to Williams. Buck Williams.
And the offensive boards once again for Portland using that quickness. You see Kersey, nobody got a body on him. He just used his athletic ability to get in there and grab another offensive rebound.
Leading in that category 7-3. Anderson off the screen on the left side. He has 10. He and Drexler exchanged some elbow attempts on that transition. Rebound Elliott. Terry Cummings, tough shot. Portland's Rick Adelman's going to get a timeout. The Blazers had led 13-10, and now they trail 22-19. Home court advantage because both San Antonio and Portland have won more games in the regular season.
Well, you know, one of the reasons I think that the Blazers aren't running more, they're only going to take it off of breaks and opportunities that are created that look like they've got it. Rick Adelman doesn't want to wear them out. He's afraid of the fatigue factor from that big game the other night in the double overtime and all the minutes played. Plus, he really doesn't want to have the guys going down and losing control and playing right into the hands of the Spurs so the Spurs can get their running game going. So a little different strategy here for the Blazers, who normally do like to run more.
Mark Bryant into the ball game for the Trailblazers, along with Brakowski, number 43, in for San Antonio. Also David Wingate for the Spurs. Mark Bryant strips it away. He just checked in. He had 1 point, 1 rebound in 7 minutes of game 5. Mark Bryant had a sprained ankle. He's playing a little bit hurt in this game.
You can see him struggling as he runs down the court, grimacing as he steps on that ankle.
Kersey draws a double team. Who's open? Michael Young, who just checked into the ball game. Danny Young, check that. Mark Bryant with the finger roll. So despite the limp, Bryant gets a couple. He looks like he's in significant pain, more than just being bothered.
No, as I say, I mean, he's really hurting. He's not running smoothly. A real gutsy effort here on his part to try and help his team.
Strickland blows by Danny Young, gets the ball to Frank Brakowski for the lay-in. Brakowski's first 2 in the ball game, and it's a Spurs 3-point lead with under 2 minutes to go first quarter. Strickland 5 assists already in this ball game.
And he's been the leading assist man in every game so far in this series. Had 17 the other night.
Cliff Robinson with the turnaround jump hook from about 8 feet. It's a 1-point Spurs lead.
Strickland, I think, 17 in game 3 when they played back here.
Anderson just lost the ball. A little slippery. Could be his left thumb cast.
That's where it will hurt you in handling the ball, not in shooting.
Kersey driving on Brakowski. They're going to get him for the hold as he turned the corner. More substitutes coming in. Drazen Petrovic into the ball game for the Portland Trailblazers. David Robinson gets back in along with Sean Elliott.
Well, Portland, one of their last tries down there is they get the double team, move the ball exceptionally well, find the open man. I mean, not even a dribble. That's the way to move the basketball and break down pressure.
Petrovic has it stolen by Robinson. It's 3-on-2. David Robinson with the two-handed jam. He's got 6 points, and the Spurs go up by 3.
Clyde Drexler was thinking of challenging on that one, but David saw him coming and made sure there was no way.
Time remaining in the first quarter, 45 seconds. And Mark Bryant has 4 points. His ankle isn't bothering his wrist.
Usually doesn't.
My wrist is okay. Wingate traffic.
No, I don't think that was, Bob. That was one of those moves that looked strange, but really was not a violation. I really believe that he kept his left pivot foot down and made a good move.
Kersey inbounds to Danny Young. Young and Petrovic in the backcourt now with Kersey, Mark Bryant, and Clyde Drexler up front.
And Bob, I don't want to take exception to Scotty Robinson, but I disagree. I don't think the intensity on defense is there. I said it before, I'll say it again. This is a very passive game defensively. They're working at it, but there's not a lot of physicalness going on out there.
Ball gets stripped loose, but Danny Young comes away with it with 2 on the shot clock. He got it off the iron. And now the ball is out of bounds with 4.4 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Gerritsen and Dan Crawford and Mike Mathis confer on the call. And they give the ball to the Trailblazers. 1-point game.
They were just trying to make sure that it was not a 24-second violation because the ball was off of a spur. That was the question.
Petrovic, tough shot in traffic. Giving the Blazers the lead. Wingate almost got the 3, reminiscent somewhat of the 3 that sent the game into overtime in Game 5 up in Portland. So it's a 1-point Blazers lead from the Hemisphere Arena in San Antonio. Petrovic, who got the ball from Danny Young. And Petrovic called for the travel on his move.
Well, I think that's kind of very similar to the one we saw down the other end.
6 Portland turnovers. Spurs down by 1.
Darryl Gerritsen, Petrovic put the ball down on the floor, and he blew the whistle and got Petrovic, made him come back and pick it up and give it to him. Very rare that you see the officials do that.
Wingate wanted to go to the lob to Robinson, but Mark Bryant held him. He'll draw the foul. He'll commit the foul. Opening moments, second period from San Antonio. Blazers up by 1.
Blazers liking where they're sitting. They're staying right with them. That's all they'd like to do right now.
Robinson missing the turnaround. That's only about an 8-footer also.
Well, I actually shouldn't say that. At first, they'd love to be ahead by 10 points, but they're pleased to be in this position.
Previously, until the double overtime, the home team in this series had just dominated the game. The pass in was a little bit late, and Willie Anderson was there to intercept it. Elliott has Robinson, but he'll take it in front. Sean Elliott has 6 points. David Robinson has 6. Anderson has 10. Cummings 4 for San Antonio, and now they're out by 1. Illegal defense called against San Antonio.
That's the first. It's a warning and a subsequent illegal defense against.
Once again, another turnover on the part of the Trailblazers. Sean Elliott doing a nice little move to let Buck Williams clear out of the way as he went strong to the basket. But right now, the turnover is hurting the Trailblazers as the Spurs have been able to convert them into a couple of easy hoops.
Buck Williams against David Robinson. Draws the double team and finds Petrovic. Robinson with the board, down to Brakowski. Sees an opening, or what he thought was an opening, and we've got a jump ball. Petrovic was there, planted in the lane when Brakowski spun into the middle.
Well, I think, if anything, it should have been a charge because Brakowski committed the charge before he hit the deck when he was tied up with the ball on the way. Now watch him get tied up as he makes the good move. There the ball is caught from behind, but boom, he charges before he actually hit the floor. Until he hit the floor, there couldn't have been a jump ball.
Brakowski with the offensive board. And no, it won't bounce his way. Wingate gets the loose ball to David Robinson. And the foul. That's on Drazen Petrovic, and Robinson has a three-point opportunity.
Well, now you have two men in there for San Antonio, two big players in Burkowski and also Robinson. Here's the last part of it after a couple of other tries. David wide open, and just catching him on the elbow was Petrovic as he went out at Robinson. But the two big guys in there creating some havoc now and getting some good offensive rebounds for the San Antonio Spurs.
It was only the second free throw shot in this game, and we have 10:21 to go in the second period.
Well, again, it's not that physical a ball game, and with an official like Darryl Garrettson in here controlling things, he usually lets a lot of physical play go, so they won't have many calls.
The loose ball foul is going to go on Buck Williams.
But Sean looked like, I don't know, if he twisted an ankle, did something. It looks like he's a little hurt, shaking up a bit. Let's see.
You see the brace on that left knee, the surgical left knee, and he's limping on that side. That was one of the major questions in the NBA draft as Porter checks back in, was the condition of Sean Elliott's knee, and he's walking on it very gingerly right now. Seems to be all right. Easy to say from here. If they're not out cold, they're all right. Byron Irvin guarding Elliott into Burkowski over Buck Williams. Rebound by Irvin.
Some strange combinations Portland's having to come up with here with the injury problems they've had.
Terry Porter, strong move to the hoop, rebound Bryant. Mark Bryant, with his gimpy ankle, has 6 points off the bench. He's only averaging 3.8 in this series. And Cliff Robinson will be back in momentarily for the Blazers.
And I think one of the reasons they'll call the charge, just like they did down there, when they have a defensive player set up near the basket and the man has gone up in the air and he makes contact that close to the hoop, the officials basically kind of let those go.
Willie Anderson. He's got 12.
A little pushing between Bryant and Burkowski in there, and I think they're going to call maybe a technical foul against Bryant.
Mark Bryant's not in a great mood anyway when he came out here.
Basket was good to Willie. Double technical foul.
I'm going to call a double technical. You see there, Robinson planted so close to the basket. I mean, it was obvious contact, but because being so close to the basket, as you see Bryant come back in and get the ball in the hole in our slam cam, that's the kind of call we're talking about.
Larry Brown down here talking to Mike Mathis, trying to get this straightened out. A double technical call with the pushing between Bryant and Burkowski, each of them getting a technical. It's Spurs 29, 9:10 to go, second quarter.
Well, that's the most physical the game has been.
Porter kicks it off to Bryant. Spurs lead it by 3. Their biggest lead was Wingate from the corner.
He's going to have to get Drexler and Kersey back in the game. Now falling behind. He's going to have to get him back in here pretty quickly.
Wingate's Petrovic is fouled on Sean Elliott. Cummings is back into the ball game for the Spurs. Petrovic will go to the free throw line.
Terry Cummings, David Robinson.
David Robinson gets a rest. He has no fouls on him this ball game. It would be about the only way he can stop David Robinson playing well, and he is. He has 8 points.
But the thing is David doesn't play well for the entire ball game. Again, that's something he's going to have to learn to do. He kind of goes in spurts at times. Something that they're working with him constantly. He's shown great promise, of course. Unanimous Rookie of the Year, is going to be the next great center in the league eventually, but he's got to learn to play all out like a Patrick Ewing and Hakeem Olajuwon do all the time they're on the court.
Petrovic gets the first Portland free throw of the ball game, and the Spurs lead it by 4. 8:21 to go, first half. Cummings draws the double team, spins inside, rebound Mark Bryant.
Well, again, right now, this Trailblazer team buying time for Drexler, Kersey, these guys to get some rest here, and Buck Williams as well.
The rookie from Missouri, Byron Irving, with a big move. Bryant's on Brukowski, and Cliff Robinson's trying to play Cummings down low. A one-touch pass back to Wingate over Porter.
Okay, he's not the greatest shooter in the world, but he is a streaky one, and if he gets it going, he can make those kind of shots. And Rick Adelman said, yeah, knowing our luck, he'll probably shoot well tonight.
And in fact, he is. 4-point Spurs lead. Robinson hard to the hole. Misses the lay-in. Rebound Cummings. Willie Anderson. Fouled hard by Byron Irvin. That's Irvin's first personal. Rod Strickland is in, and Wingate will sit down for the Spurs.
You see both coaches concerned about how much that double overtime took out of their players as they're shuffling people in and out on a regular basis. You see the stats on Willie Anderson for this series.
6 out of 7 free throw shooting. Johnny Moore checks into the ball game. Johnny Moore in his 9th year out of the University of Texas. Elliott will rest, and the trainer for San Antonio will take a look at that left knee.
John Anderson, the trainer. Been around for a while.
Foul away from the ball. It's going to be on Terry Cummings.
Foul on 34, TC. Second team foul.
Working on Elliott on the sideline there. Elliott, the 6'8" rookie from Arizona.
Hey, if he ran another run of teams this year, a number of other teams, Bob, he would have scored a lot of points.
Cummings with another rebound to Strickland. That's 3 rebounds for Terry Cummings early. Spurs up by 6. Anderson doesn't get the bounce, but Mark Bryant has played very big off the bench. Significant defensive rebounds. Porter missing from long range. Petrovic leaping into Brukowski commits the loose ball foul. That'll be 2. Timeout. 6:36 to go first half. Spurs are up by 6. Seven-point Spurs lead, and the crowd starting to get intense here at the Hemisphere Arena. Drexler on the drive. Missed again. He has not scored in this ball game. 0 for 4 from the floor is the Clyde to Glide. Nice defensive play by Cliff Robinson. That pass intended to a back-cutting Rod Strickland, and David Robinson gets back in for Brukowski for San Antonio.
You know, what's going to happen here for the Trailblazers, regardless of what happens in this series, is that this series, because of the injury problems, is just going to really help bolster the confidence of Cliff Robinson, who's a tremendous prospect for them.
Blocked from behind by Kersey, but Robinson comes up with it and gets the strong two-handed jam. He's got double figures. Buck Williams is going to get back in for Rick Adelman's Blazers before they get too far down, trailing by 9. The Blazer bench hasn't been able to keep him in there. Drexler looking for his first points. 0 for 5. A beautiful block by Kersey, but first the foul. It was Cliff Robinson with the blocking foul.
Let's catch the previous play by the Spurs as Terry Cummings gets that shot blocked. It goes right into the hands of David Robinson, and he just strongly takes it home past Clyde Drexler. Clyde probably getting tired of seeing that two-hand dunk, because he saw one earlier in the game that he tried to prevent. But right now, what I see happening here is what, of course, Larry Brown would like to see continue to happen, is that the Spurs have these Blazers have a tendency, as Caldwell comes into the game for the Spurs, the Blazers have the tendency to go a little bit one-on-one sometimes when they fall behind. They have some great individual players. When they do that, they get out of their offensive continuity, and if the shots aren't dropping for them, it kind of plays right into the hands of the Spurs to give them good transition opportunities.
The Spurs on a 13-3 run as Robinson hits them both. They're up by 11. Spurs had trailed by, had been tied before they went on the run. Kersey from long range. He finally drops one in. That's a two-pointer. At the conclusion of tonight's game, Rick and I will select the Miller Lite player of the game. Darryl Garrettson with a call, a foul away from the ball down on the baseline on Clyde Drexler. Drexler's first.
Clyde was holding against David Wingate, who was trying to make a cut. One of the few times we've seen a lot of that happening. Guys are just kind of running around out there without many people impeding their progress.
The Blazers in the penalty. The Spurs have committed only 2 team fouls in this period with 5:11 remaining.
What are the Spurs shooting from the line? Get Marty Aronoff here to get that for us. They're not shooting very well right now, are they? I've seen a number of misses here.
They were about 50% a moment ago. Up a little better than that now. (44-34). Spurs by 10.
Portland's having a tough time from the field to get the free throw line.
The jump hook by Kersey.
That's 3 for 12 from the Spurs. I mean, from the Blazers from the line.
Elliott is wide open to miss the jumper. Drexler comes away with it. 10-point Spurs lead. Cliff Robinson over Elliott. They can't throw it in the ocean. Now Porter will do with it. Get it in close to the shot. He'll get a free throw opportunity at least. Caldwell Jones picks up the personal foul.
And the Spurs, I think, are only 60% from the free throw line, 6 for 10 right now. And there's only been two free throw attempts, I think, for this is only the third one for the Trailblazers in this first half.
Terry Porter with a very, very big game in that Game 5 win in double overtime for the series, averaging nearly 23, shooting 58%. Willie Anderson, sore thumb and all, gets back into the ball game, and Sean Elliott rests. Caldwell Jones waits for a fan to get him the ball. When you get his age, you
take all the rest you can get. That's right.
Every bit of energy you can. Wingate finds an opening in the middle, dishes to Strickland.
And that time Wingate did travel and he got away with it.
Strickland's first points of this ball game. 10-point Spurs lead. Spurs hoping to force Game 7 this weekend. Portland wanting to move and advance to the conference finals against Phoenix. But Williams can't get it to go in the basket. Anderson, offensive foul. Willie Anderson's first personal.
Well, that's why coaches say if you're leading the break, stop at the free throw line. Of course, most players don't pay attention to the coaches when they tell them that. But
two of the coaches who have done the best turnaround jobs or best coaching jobs in the NBA this year, Larry Brown with a big turnaround, of course. Rick Adelman with Portland. Larry Brown with the Spurs here tonight. Talk about shooting woes. Porter throws up an air ball, and he has a sheepish grin on his face as he backs away.
Ball just slipped off his hand. You mentioned shooting 58%, and they were not all layups either.
Portland has missed 9 of their last 10 shots. Bounce pass to Robinson, who was fouled. Missed the jam. It was on Cliff Robinson, and Cliff Robinson now has 3 personals with 3:23 to go in the half.
Great penetration, and Buck came over to stop him. Nice bounce pass. Robinson not able to get the dunk high enough, hit it off the side. Help whatsoever. A big breakdown.
Spurs by 9, 3 minutes to go in the half. Arrested Phoenix lying in wait for the winner of this series. Portland would like to win one tonight and get some rest themselves. Anderson kicks to Strickland. Nobody's there for Strickland, but he misses. Buck Williams gets the rebound. Quickly out to Drexler. Inside to Drexler. He couldn't handle it. Lost out of bounds.
Rod Strickland's going to have to learn to shoot the basketball consistently from middle distance. Right now, he's a little suspect with his shot, and if he learns to do that, he's just going to make the Spurs that much tougher to play against.
Strickland, and the trade for Mo Cheeks with New York worked out for both clubs. Strickland still playing, and Mo's on vacation, however. 5 on the shot clock from the corner. Wingate, not this time. Loose ball foul is going to be on Mark Bryant.
Well, he just told you what he thought of that call.
2 personals on Bryant.
Call for going over the back of David Robinson.
Spurs still have committed only 3 team fouls with 2:06 to go in the first half.
Interesting story by Rick Adelman talking about his ball club after they lost the 2 games down here rather badly, and all of the negative things being said about his team. He had a team meeting. He said, you know, instead of focusing on all the bad things people were talking about, we sat down and talked, and I had the players talk about what they felt were the positive reasons why we could win against this team. He said we had a great meeting. We focused on those things. We went out and played a good ball game. Just kind of ran out of gas in the second half, but still managed to come up with a victory.
Drexler looking for his first basket of the night, and this doesn't get the opportunity again.
Fouls on Wingate.
That personal is on Wingate, his first. Tuesday night, May 22nd, Chicago versus Detroit, Game 2 Eastern Conference Championship Series. Hope you'll join us for that as we continue the coverage of the NBA on TNT, the playoffs. We've had some beauties for you.
I hope somebody's called Doug to tell him that's where he's supposed to be.
Drexler gets the free throws and now has his first 2 points of the night and still hasn't hit a field goal.
Yeah, that's going to be a great series.
Caldwell Jones inside to Robinson, who drew a crowd. 10 on the shot clock for the Spurs. The lob to Robinson. What a catch! New shot clock for the Spurs. Anderson, that's a 2-point attempt. Offensive rebounding, and the Spurs roll it over again. Strickland traveled. That's the call from Garrettson.
Delay of game warning, Spurs.
Delay of game warning against the Spurs, who lead it here by 8 with 1:16 to go in the half. Portland a chance to chip away at that double-digit lead.
That's what Drazen should have done. He should have let him call a delay of game warning. He didn't make him go back and get the ball.
Drexler gets it to Porter. Foul away from the ball. It's going to be on San Antonio coming up at halftime. Craig Sager and Lenny Wilkins, the Good Hands Award winner, and the Hispanic voice of the Spurs.
Foul was on Strickland. Holding.
First in the line and the penalty. 1+2.
Portland missing shots and playing somewhat like they're tired. And that's what Rick Adelman said. He was afraid that the double overtime might take some of it out of them. Kersey gets 1 of the free throws, and it's a 7-point Spurs lead with a minute to go, first half.
Probably true, because, I mean, usually you shoot the ball poorly if your legs are tired.
Robinson over Bryant. Rebound Buck Williams. Porter. And the Trailblazers have an opportunity to cut this lead to 5. Bryant not shooting that way. Spurs ball. 41 seconds to go in the half. Spurs get a 20-second timeout.
Every time you step out there, and right now they would do like nothing better than to win this basketball game.
There's the trap on Strickland. Caldwell Jones now double team. 10 on the shot clock. Down inside to Anderson. Came off the weak side, and the veteran Caldwell Jones with a very good look. 20 seconds remaining in the period.
Well, again, they won't be trailing by double figures, so they have a realistic shot at still pulling this one out.
Drexler looking for his first field goal. He doesn't get it. Was that Robinson with another block? Yes. The handoff to Anderson gets the lay-in, and Willie Anderson has 18 first-half points.
And, Bob, they get him up to double figures by taking too early a shot down the other end.
The Spurs leading it by 11 at the half. Portland only 4 of 18 shooting the ball this period. That's 23% in the second quarter.
Interception. Spurs get out on a fast break, and David Robinson goes in for a slam dunk. The Portland Trailblazers have to show more patience on their offense. Right here, everybody kind of gets into the act, and David Wingate makes a great jump shot, and if he's starting to shoot the ball well from outside, then San Antonio...
Blazers early here. Take him out of it, but the Blazers hopefully then saying, hey, we got another game at home, and it could be an easy night. But if you give him some life, then you've got a problem.
Portland down by 11. Porter still finding the front edge of the iron. He's 2 of 9 tonight. Cliff Robinson gets the roll, but just barely. The rims are tight for Portland. Porter, by the way, doesn't even have any assists in this ball game. Cummings answers. That's a 21-footer, a two-pointer. Robinson with the baseline drive, stepped on the line. Portland coach Rick Adelman wanted him to, Mike Mathis, to say he had been pushed out of bounds. Mike is displaying closed ears. 11-point Spurs lead, 11 minutes to go, third quarter. Elliott has it, blocked by Robinson.
Ball hit behind the basket after the block, so it will be Spurs ball.
For the...
Now they're going to call a jump ball.
For the Portland Trailblazers, Terry Porter and Drexler at the guards, Cliff Robinson, Jerome Kersey, Buck Williams, along with Drexler and Porter. Their centers are hurt for Portland. Duckworth and Cooper missing this game. Duckworth broke a bone in his hand. He's healing, and they hope he'll be back and able to play some during the conference finals if Portland gets all the way. Cooper is not on this trip. He has back spasms. There's Duckworth. You see the cast on his right hand, but Wayne Cooper stayed in Portland, suffering with his back spasm. He, too, is hopeful to be able to play in Game 7, if there is a Game 7, in Portland on the weekend. Kersey, ball handling problem. Elliott breaks away from the hold. He's fouled on the drive by Kersey.
Well, again, Portland hurting themselves with their inability to be able to handle the basketball and causing some turnovers. That's just a situation where Kersey just dribbled the ball away, just couldn't get the handle on it. It goes right to Elliott. He grabbed him once, got away with that foul. Now he comes down and just ran by him, trying to prevent him from getting a three-point opportunity. But if you're going to go ahead and do that kind of a foul, you'd better off to just grab him while he was on the floor and not give him a chance to shoot the ball.
John Elliott shooting well from the floor this series. Portland's one of the deepest teams in the NBA, particularly in the Western Conference. But if you lose both centers, no team's deep enough to really play well without either center.
Well, they've done a pretty darn good job of winning all 3 games at home. I think, again, they deserve a great deal of credit for having accomplished what they've done. And they're figuring that they're still going to be able to win another ball game.
Cliff Robinson will go to the free throw line.
But again, Bob, I think with the game the other night and the way San Antonio was able to come back, now they feel that they can win up there. But again, thinking that and doing it still are 2 different things.
Terry Cummings called for the personal. Cummings, by the way, with 3 fouls for San Antonio.
You know, with the great fan support that the Trailblazers have received over the years in Portland, with all those consecutive sellouts, you see the stats on Robinson here. Those fans will be trying to will the ball in the basket for every shot that the Trailblazers take should there be a Game 7 on Saturday.
Lane violation. Robinson will shoot it again.
One more shot.
Well, one way or another, there will be a game in Portland on Saturday. Whether it's the Trailblazers against the Spurs or the Trailblazers against the Suns still remains to be seen.
11-point Spurs lead, 10:16 to go, third quarter from San Antonio. Strickland handling the ball, looking for Willie Anderson. 18 first half points for Anderson, 14 for Robinson. Cummings with 7 on the shot clock. Blocked by Cliff Robinson and collected by Anderson. Cliff Robinson just ran him over, and that'll be the 4th personal foul on Cliff Robinson.
And what a tough break, because he made a great defensive play. He couldn't stop his forward momentum, but the shot clock was down to 3. There's almost no way that they would have been able to get a shot off without a 24-second clock violation. Big play for the Spurs. Tough break for the Blazers.
Porter on Strickland. Strickland, by the way, had 6 assists at the half. Cummings from long range. Terry has 8 points. This is the biggest lead of the ball game, a lead of 13 by San Antonio. Cliff Robinson with an air ball. Portland looking very tired. Spurs turnover. Mark Bryant comes into the ballgame for Cliff Robinson, who will get a rest. He has 4 personals.
Look at how you can see how he's limping. He's definitely nowhere near being in top condition here with that sprained ankle.
Bryant had 6 points in the first half. Drexler shooting an air ball. Drexler is 0 for 7.
Bob, I tell you, that ball was so short of the basket. That was incredible. And that didn't even come anywhere near getting to the hoop.
It's 2 on Sean Elliott as Kersey goes to the line. 2 team fouls on each team here with 9 minutes to go in the third quarter.
I'll tell you, Clyde, I'm sure he will. He's got to keep taking the shot. He's got to go ahead and just shoot his way out of this. You can't just stop shooting, because that's going to hurt his ball club. He's got to try and find a way to put some points on the board for them.
Some defensive rebounds and some fast breaks would help, of course.
Yeah, or some steals and let him get out on a break and dunk one. That'll pump him up a bit.
Stolen by Drexler. He's going to get his first basket. How about a steal and a break and a pump-up? Let's see if he's pumped it.
You can still see the frustration on his part, knowing that he's just having a terrible game, and that certainly should help him a bit.
Took 27 minutes and 10 seconds for Drexler to get his first basket. I just remembered that.
You're such a whiz with numbers.
Strickland missing. Rebound Robinson, who missed from close in, and Porter corrals it. Porter now got a mismatch inside to Bryant. Blocked by Robinson. But first, an offensive foul on Bryant throwing his arm out there, and that'll be 2 on Mark.
Where he got in trouble is he took the bounce. Watch when he gets it. Now he'll take the bounce. That wasted time. That gave time for Robinson to get over there, and there's the left arm pushing off against David. When you got a great shot blocker and you get the ball inside, you better get up quickly, because if you take one bounce, he'll come and get you.
Robinson, you see his vertical leap on that jump shot? Going up like Michael Jordan to take that. 11-point Spurs lead once again. Kersey left alone from 18. Front edge of the iron again. Sign of tired legs. Anderson on the run, missing the follow by Elliott. It was blocked by Kersey. Drexler has the break going. Bad pass to Porter, but he corrals it.
Yeah, this is a tired Portland ball club, no question about that.
This time Kersey stepped on the line. San Antonio's Larry Brown is going to get a timeout with 7:18 remaining in the third quarter. And the Spurs continue to lead it by 11.
The Tour de Light is rolling across America.
Where's Woody?
And they might be coming to your town with lots of instant prizes. If a Miller Lite biker spots you holding a Miller Lite, you could win up to $10,000 and a Raleigh bicycle. So pick up the less filling beer that really tastes great, and you might pick up $10,000 as the Tour de Light race.
Robinson up front for San Antonio as play gets resumed. Cummings just blows right by Buck Williams and Cummings has 10.
Yeah, they've got to do a job is trying to help defensively because they obviously don't have a really great shot blocker in there. Kersey does a nice job from the weak side, but it's not like driving in and seeing David Robinson in there.
Robinson, by the way, 1 block in this game, 7 rebounds, 16 points. 8 on the shot clock for Drexler.
Oh, he's not even close with his shots now.
Kersey also missing badly. Drexler with a steal. Looking for help and finding it. Porter goes for 3. He hits the front edge of the iron. Anderson into Elliott. Elliott has 10 points. The biggest lead of the game. It's a 15-point bulge for the San Antonio Spurs.
Bob, I doubt very seriously if Portland will be able to get back into this ball game. They got a little action there going on. Kersey and Cummings having a few words.
Sean Elliott also being waved away from the pack. Mark Bryant in there.
Cummings trying to step in, I think, to protect the youngster Elliott. Not liking. You see, this is a little bit of frustration here on the Trailblazers' part, I think.
Double technical foul. Elliott and Kersey.
Double technical on Elliott and Kersey.
You see Sean there, 32, a little bump. Kersey bumping him back, then a bump back, and then he gives a little forearm, and then the little shoves going on. And then there you see Cummings trying to step in to protect Elliott.
Drexler even misses his lay-in as he flies through the paint. Buck Williams does the job on the follow.
Yeah, but the penetration caused the problem because Robinson had to come to help out. That left Buck open to go to the offensive glass.
Cummings, nice pass inside to Strickland. Misses the reverse. Buck Williams rebounds to Porter on the run. 1-on-3. Buck has 8 rebounds, by the way. Porter gets it to roll in, and it's been that kind of night for Portland. I expected that to come back out of there.
Yeah, just when I said I didn't think the Blazers would be able to come back into this ball game, all of a sudden a little pushing match over there may have ignited them some as they made a little 4-zip run here.
That was Porter's first field goal since the first period. Cummings against Williams. 8 on the shot clock for Terry Cummings. Buck Williams can't keep him out of the paint. Pushed him. Buck will pick up the personal foul. That'll be his 3rd.
Watch Drexler with the frustration. Here Drexler goes. He makes his penetration move as he gets to the basket. And you see David Robinson screen off. He didn't get inside there as Buck Williams had the inside position, and he's able to go in for the offensive rebound.
Terry Cummings tonight has 10 points in the game. He's also carrying 3 fouls with 5:17 to go in the 3rd. Puts the Spurs up by 12.
See how Clyde and Porter obviously struggling here between them. Just a little bit of a deficiency there in the number of points produced. Of course, that was for a full double overtime ball game.
And I know home court has been the determining factor in these games in this series, but you got to think if Cooper doesn't get well for Portland, Duckworth still has his hand problem. San Antonio with a win tonight, if they can hold on here, they're going to have to feel confident going up to Portland for Game 7.
Yeah, they're very confident. Again, I really feel that double overtime loss the other night did wonders for them, showing them that they do have a realistic chance, of course, of winning up there as Wingate's in for the Spurs, and Robinson and Elliott go to the bench. Burkowski also in.
Buck Williams, only 5 points in this ball game tonight. We talk about the fact that Drexler has 4, Porter 9. Buck Williams also has been somewhat invisible. And now 6.
Well, if they're going to make a move, this would be a good time to do it for Portland with both Robinson on the bench along with Sean Elliott. But Cummings is the guy that they'll probably go to now for the Spurs.
They popped the Wingate open.
Anderson's been quiet here after a big first half.
Anderson with the pull-up jumper right in his face with Mark Bryant. Portland comes back. They can cut it to 9 or better on this series if they can penetrate San Antonio's defense. Clear the side for Porter against Cummings. Porter much quicker, gets back Cummings. The help had to come over from the weak side.
Yeah, well, Bukowski never really did clear out of the lane, looking to the weak side with the ball. And you'll see Bukowski come into your picture as a good little move into the middle. Got Cummings leaning, and then he beats him left. There's Bukowski just coming over and making sure he got the foul without the opportunity for the three-point play. But right now, the Spurs are hitting a little bit of a lag right here. They had a chance to put this game out of reach when they get up 15. And then, again, that little shoving incident down the other end seemed to put a little more life back into the Blazers.
It was Porter's 10th point in this ball game. He's only 3 of 11 from the floor, though. But Terry Porter has no assists in this ball game.
Well, again, Portland's not really running their offense all that well. I mean, a lot of individual playing going on one-on-one. They're shooting the ball very poorly. When he does give it up, nobody's making a shot.
And yet the Blazers are within 9 with 4:31 to go in the third quarter. Can they reach back for enough to play tough in the fourth? If they get close, it'll help them reach deeper. Magically so. Into Cummings.
Buck Williams wanting 3-second call against Terry Cummings.
Drexler picked up the personal foul. The Wendy's playoff recap. Bulls will meet the Pistons. And the Suns are waiting for the winner of this series.
You know, I wonder how difficult it is for the Suns to be sitting there because they don't know who to practice against. I mean, what team do you prepare for? I think that the practices is probably more difficult to be able to have a really good practice session, not knowing who in the world you're going to be preparing for.
Some good golf courses in Phoenix.
Well, I don't know. I don't know how many players would be out there doing that. Might be good relaxation though after a workout.
It's high. It works for me. Terry Cummings at the line. Cummings, 4 points in the first half, 10 this period for San Antonio, and the Spurs lead it by 11, as many as they led by at the half. Spurs defense matched with Portland's tiredness has been a real story of this game. Looked like Porter traveled with 5 on the clock. Kersey throws up a short shot, and now here comes Wingate. Bounces to Bukowski. The lay-in. Offensive foul, wave off the basket.
Offensive foul on Bukowski.
Larry Brown cannot believe it. Let's take a look again. Bukowski coming in. Clyde moved right on. That's no way. I mean, there is just no way in the world. And he's absolutely right to be upset. We'll see another angle. Watch how Clyde is moving. He's committed there. He just moved right underneath. That's no question a block.
Bukowski now has 3 personal fouls. Portland a chance to cut the lead to 9. Inside to Bryant. He missed from about 3 feet.
Well, that's the ankle. He didn't get the elevation he expected, and he came up short.
From 18, Terry Cummings. He's feeling it tonight, and Terry Cummings now has 16 points, 12 in the period. Spurs back by 13, 3:18 to go, third quarter.
Pushed off offense, good call.
Drexler now with 4 personals.
Now see, now Darryl, you should have made Clyde pick that ball up. He didn't give it to you. Don't pick on the Yugoslavian, because he's a foreigner.
Spurs leading it by 13, and Robinson's resting.
Yeah. I say, I mean, and plus he's having to play some of his key people here.
Oh, there's a real slugfest going on with Anderson and Drexler down low.
Drexler's out. He's throwing Drexler out of the game. That's frustration, Bob. Total, complete frustration on the part of Clyde Drexler.
Drexler now talking to Matt
Saying he can't hold me like that. He's holding me. I pushed him off. Now Rick Adelman getting in. But he said that he's out of the ball game. But he threw a punch. You throw a punch and you're out of the game. I mean, it doesn't matter what the reason is. You cannot throw a punch. And Larry Brown trying to make sure he's out of there.
Rick Adelman holding Drexler away. Larry Brown trying to get his 2 cents in. Daryl Garrettson's here. He'll keep this under control. Drexler only 1 of 10 from the floor tonight. Only 4 points. The frustration obviously showing as Drexler is leaving the arena. He's been thrown out of the ball game. 28 minutes, and Clyde Drexler had one field goal, that off of a steal and a breakaway. And a timeout has been called by Rick Adelman in Portland, trailing by 13 with their star going. The punches had happened just prior to that. So Drexler out of this ball game. 28 minutes. He was 1 for 10 from the floor, had 4 points. The frustration finally got to him.
Yeah, there's no question about that, Bob. I guarantee you, had Clyde been having a real good ball game, he would not have lost his composure that easily.
Well, Portland, the entire team not doing much better. They're all frustrated. Since the first period, Portland is 8 for 32 from the field. That's 25%. And now down by 14 to the Spurs with 2:58 to go, third quarter. Spurs hoping to take this thing back to Portland. Petrovic in guarding Wingate. Bukowski against Robinson. And the foul on David Robinson. Hold it, they may not call it on him.
Not on Cliff, it would have been. It's not Petrovic, I think, reaching in.
Yes, that would have been 5 on Cliff Robinson, but waved that off, and now Petrovic has 3.
Break at the line. Shoots 2.
Yeah, the beauty of this for the Spurs is that they're going to they're having an opportunity here to give major rest to David Robinson.
Johnny Moore in for Strickland.
Yeah, Rick, I would be surprised if Rick goes in and gets his people, Buck Williams, Kersey, people like that, out of this game to give them some rest and put the people he has on the bench. He doesn't have very many bench players left with the injuries he has. That's the problem. Got a banged up Bryant sitting over there. Probably see Byron Irving get back in.
Kersey is fouled on his way to the hoop. That'll be called on Willie Anderson. This is the biggest lead of the ball game for the Spurs. A lead of 16 with 2:31 to go, third quarter. Sean Elliott's going to come back in for San Antonio. Kersey's been carrying the load. He is the leading scorer for Portland with 14 points. He's averaging 21 and a half this series. Cliff Robinson has 12. Terry Porter has 11. And Drexler was ejected with 3:01 left in the third with only 4 points in the game. We thought he might come back and get his points in the second half, but that's one way to defense it. 7 on the shot clock. With 4 on the shot clock, Elliott misses. Rebound by Robinson.
Two minutes.
Buck Williams got down on the baseline. Bukowski fouled him. That's his 4th. And Robinson's going to come back in the game.
Buck Williams at the line, shooting 2.
Buck Williams has only 6 points tonight. He does have 8 rebounds.
Well, Rick Adams' worst fears came true. He was worried that his team was going to be worn out from that double overtime with all the minutes that so many of his key people had to play, and it really proved to be a good reason to be concerned because this was a tired ball club.
It's a team that stayed healthy all season long. Virtually all season long, and then the playoffs came, and here come the injuries. Both centers, Buck Williams got hurt. Bryant's got a sore ankle.
You saw Duckworth there with the cast on that right hand.
Wingate pulls up from 18. Petrovic backed off of him, and Wingate made him pay. Looking down low to Cliff Robinson, coming from the weak side to help out after Robinson beat Cummings was David Robinson.
And Moore, who came in to pick up the foul as he dropped in from the weak side guard spot.
Cliff Robinson at the line. 2.
Robinson has 13 tonight. He's carrying 4 personals. Spurs lead it by 14 with just over a minute remaining in the third quarter. Johnny Moore from long range. Got the loose ball,
which was tipped out by David Robinson.
Danny Young rebounds it. Portland runs. Kersey drops it off inside to Cliff Robinson for the lay-in. Robinson now has 15. And Portland's now down by 12 with under a minute to go in the third. They trailed by as many as 16.
And every time the Spurs have a chance to just put the Blazers away, they let them sneak right back in there and give them a little bit of life.
There's the double team on Cummings. Now Robinson moves it around with only 4 on the shot clock. Robinson missed the lay-in. The loose ball foul is going to go on San Antonio's David Robinson.
Loose ball foul called on David
That's 2.
Robinson. His second.
We'll continue our playoff coverage on TNT on Tuesday night. Chicago and Detroit, game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals. That'll be at the Palace in Auburn Hills.
But the penalty, Kersey would be at the line. Isn't it interesting how that the Blazers are having more trouble when Burkowski and the other players are in, since he brought Robinson back in the ball game and making a run at him. Now Larry Brown wanting to get all of his key people as Anderson comes back in along with Strickland. So he's got the starting
Strickland, Willie and Johnny Moore, Sean Elliott.
starting lineup back in the game, although no, Elliott's gone out. Wingate's the only bench player in right now.
Jerome Kersey with 15 points in this ballgame. Spurs by 11. 30 seconds remaining, third quarter. Some three-quarter pressure from the Trailblazers. Spurs handled it very easily, and Robinson gets it inside. He has 18 to go with his 11 rebounds. Four seconds left in the period. Petrovic with a bad pass. An almost impossible shot attempt by Kersey, and nothing's going right for Portland. They are trailing by 12 after three quarters.
At the basket, you get 2 points. That'll stop them from trapping, as we pointed out many times, a very tired team.
David Robinson against Cliff Robinson. Coming in from the weak side is Frank Rakowski, knocked out of bounds by Portland with 9 on the shot clock. Trailblazers had only 5 field goals in the third quarter. They stayed alive by going 14 of 16 from the line. Shot clock down to 5 seconds. Strickland's got to deal with Kersey, spins around him, shoots the air ball. Byron Irvin almost turned it over. Down to Kersey for the jam. And it's a 10-point Spurs lead. Petrovic, Porter, along with Byron Irving, Kersey, and Cliff Robinson. Interesting mixture for the Blazers. Wingate buries it from the corner. Wingate has been shooting very well tonight. He has 9 points. Robinson and Robinson were mixing it up there. Porter shooting poorly again and missing. There's the rebound stolen by Irving. He ran right into Willie Anderson, and now Strickland is 1-on-3. With Anderson posted down inside against Irvin. Off the glass, Willie Anderson. 21 points. He had 18 at the half. Cliff Robinson is fouled by Brukowski. That's 5.
You know, again, Bob, you just see the old deep hole syndrome taking effect again. I know I keep bringing it up, but how often does it happen? You know, if the team on the road gets behind, they try to fight back, they make a little run, they slide back again. I mean, you just can't get away with that very often. I mean, right now, if the Blazers are going to win this game, they're going to have to just hang around, start to make a move, and hopefully pull it out right at the end. I don't think they can do that. I felt that way in the middle of the third quarter when they were down 15, and I see nothing to really change that.
Terry Cummings in for Brukowski, who has the 5 fouls. And the first-year player, thinking of football, Cliff Robinson, has played very well this year, but he's really played tall since the centers got hurt for Portland. And in this ball game tonight, he and Kersey have been the story.
Silly foul. That's his 5th.
And just as we're speaking of it, that's 5 personals. Just when he wasn't looking like a rookie, he looked like one. Now what? Buck Williams will have to come back into the game.
Buck Williams or Cliff Robinson.
So with 2 centers hurt, and their 3rd center, who's really a forward, with 5 fouls, Buck Williams comes in on David Robinson. 10:14 to go in the ball game. Anderson's got 23.
And Robinson and Buck Williams banging out there pretty good. And if Robinson was upset with Williams just did to him down there, watch out if they ever make it to Detroit.
13 rebounds now for David Robinson.
Let's watch Anderson as he gets it. Look at the battling down in for position inside here. But watch on the weak side after Anderson makes a shot. See, look at the battle between Robinson right under the basket and the pushing off between Buck Williams and the 2 of them. And again, they're having a few words to say right now down the other end as we're back to live action because they keep battling for position.
Buck Williams and Terry Cummings were face to face there.
And well, Terry coming in to speak to the guys there. He's not even involved in it. He's coming in to try and be the protector there.
Rubbing noses. I was going to upset. Wingate looking for Robinson down low. David Robinson has 20. Hard drive to the hoop and a very hard foul as Kersey came in tough. He didn't get it to drop either.
Well, nothing really flagrant going on there. Robinson just got his hand on the ball and was able to knock the balance off of Kersey as he makes the move into the middle. Now watch David go up, catches the top part of the body, went for the ball, and that just threw off the body balance of Kersey, and then David tripping over Kersey as he went down.
Yeah, I'd say his body balance was thrown off. David Robinson with 3 fouls.
Double technical foul. Technicals on Buck Williams, a technical on David Robinson.
So there, following that, we get double technicals.
Well, they went over to line up
now.
Yeah, to line up at the line. See, Robinson's right next to him, and they kind of banged each other again as they were going to line up for the free throw. So that's carrying over from 2 trips down the court.
Willie Anderson tonight with 23 points, despite the dislocated left thumb. Didn't bother his shooting touch.
And see what Terry Cummings said. Terry Cummings switched positions with David. So David, let me get over there with Buck.
15-point Spurs lead.
Now it's going to foul on Williams for pushing against. They're watching him like a hawk now. You can't do anything now. After the officials have done that, you know that they're going to be watching. Let's watch the 2 of them go. Here comes David. As he goes across the lane, Buck is going to go ahead and give him a push right there with the forearm, and that's where the foul comes. And that's nothing. That happens all the time, and yet they call it because they're watching.
David Robinson answered with the jumper. He has 22, and the Spurs are putting the hurt to Portland now. Lead of 17, biggest bulge of the ball game.
Now they call the foul.
Illegal defense has been okay.
Thought they were going to call a foul on David, which they could have because he bumped Buck as he was making the move. See right in the middle of the lane right there. See her Cummings. He's dropped in. I mean, that's Sean Elliott. No, that's Cummings in the middle. You see his man's out over the three-point lane, and he's in the middle. He hadn't double-teamed. He was dropped down in the paint. He was actually dropped even one more zone than he was, two zones more than he was allowed to.
Porter gets the technical. Trailblazers get the ball after the illegal defense.
You know, David, this might be good training for him because should they be able to win this series and were fortuitous enough to get by the Suns and Detroit were to win, he'd see a lot more physical play in that series. But they got a lot to worry about before they get there.
The double team on Williams. Kersey from 18. Kersey has 22. Good play by Porter, but he couldn't control the ball. It'll belong to the Spurs with 11 on the shot clock.
11.
Since the first quarter, Portland shooting 26%. Nearly stolen by Byron Irvin. Now 7 on the shot clock for Rod Strickland. Loose ball foul on Jerome Kersey, throwing Terry Cummings away from the ball.
That's the penalty now, I believe. Let's see.
2 on Kersey.
Fourth team foul.
2 team fouls on the Spurs, 4 on Portland.
That clock operator is quick. I looked up there just after that was called, and they'd already switched it to 4.
Well, then we won't call that a mistake.
No, it wasn't a mistake. He was fast.
Sean Elliott to Wingate. Down low to Cummings against Kersey. Tough angle from behind the board. Irvin kept it alive. Williams gets it to Porter. Has Petrovic. Petrovic 5 points.
And how many times? This is now the third time the Spurs had him, chance to put him away, and they just let him make a little run back at them.
Plenty of time. 7:40 remaining. 12-point bulge for San Antonio. Portland running out of players rapidly. Cliff Robinson on the bench with 5 fouls. Drexler was ejected. 3 minutes to go in the third. Here's Cummings with the drive. Sean Elliott with the drive in the basket. And it's back to 14. Petrovic. The penetration and the handoff to Buck Williams, who says, "In your face, David." Robinson had something to retort to it. Hard bump as Robinson cuts into the lane, calling for the ball. Buck Williams really hammering him down there. Sean Elliott from the perimeter. Keep our eyes on Buck Williams and David Robinson. Robinson slapping Buck Williams on the backside there, saying, "Just chill out. We've got a timeout on the floor."
The type A personality vacation.
Porter, 2 of their stars who were so big in game number 5. Drexler, of course, who just joined us, is in the locker room as he got thrown out, throwing a punch at Willie Anderson in the third quarter. A little frustration on that one.
6:43 to go at the Hemisphere Arena in San Antonio. Petrovic inbounds to Porter. Kersey on the drive. Robinson came to help out. Good save down there by Byron Irvin. Porter from 19. Finally gets one to drop from out there. Porter does have 14 points, most of them coming from the free throw line. He's only 4 of 13 from the field. Cummings tries to answer. Long rebound to Strickland. Wingate wanting to go to Robinson. Buck Williams pushing him off the block. 6 on the shot clock. Anderson fakes the 3 and takes the 2. Here's Strickland. Sneaked inside of the rookie from Missouri, Byron Irvin, and got the offensive board. To go with his 4 points, he has 9 assists. Kersey got inside. It was knocked away, and the Spurs are running. Strickland. Anderson. He has 25. Now the Spurs starting to lay it on with 5 minutes to go in the ball game.
With a mismatch inside.
They get it to Williams. He gets the basket. Cummings got there to help, but too little too late. Spurs by 14. Got the foul on Buck Williams. That's 5 on Buck Williams.
Buck thought he had pretty good position. The hold was called by Darrell Garrison. You can see Buck just kind of smiling about it. There he is in the left of the screen. Got pretty good position. Well, I tell you, if there was a hold there, I sure didn't see it. I didn't think from the first angle that we had. It looked like he had pretty darn good position that time.
Buck Williams may be tired, but he is not. He's not mellow.
Buck's really a pretty easygoing guy, a very articulate guy, a very bright fellow, knows the game. I've not seen him get that upset in quite a few years.
For David Robinson, 23 points, 13 rebounds, 4 blocks, 3 steals. Just another day at the office in Mr. Robinson's neighborhood. 97-81, San Antonio. 4.5 minutes remaining. Big foul there on the big arm of Terry Cummings. Porter tried to drive. Blazers are over the limit. 3 team fouls on the Spurs and 4 on Terry Cummings. Nobody can seem to find a seam. Kersey does get into the paint now, and Robinson's there for his 5th block. 10 on the shot clock. Hasn't hit the iron yet. And Wingate stripped it away from Petrovic with 6 on the clock. The San Antonio defense needs attention. It has been a significant factor in this ball game. Portland is tired, but San Antonio is tough inside and on the baseline.
Well, it helps when you have a guy like Robinson in the middle helping you if you break down.
6 blocks for David Robinson as Anderson's on the run. The lob and the jam. Terry Cummings. Portland's going to get a timeout with 3:51 to go, and this one's in the books. This series is going to go back to Portland. Centers for Portland are not playing. Duckworth is here, but his hand is still healing from the broken bone. Cooper is in Portland with back spasms. Danny Young hits the jumper, quietening the crowd for a moment, and it is a noisy one here at the Hemisphere. Field by Danny Young. He lays it off to Robinson, who's back into the game. Cliff Robinson's been on the bench for a while. He has 5 personals. Spurs by 14. Wingate kicks it to Anderson with 7 on the shot clock. Willie Anderson gets it to drop in. Willie's got 27 points tonight. Had 18 at the half, and he was the offense for the Spurs in that first half. He's 12 of 18 from the floor. Wingate with a personal. Petrovic goes to the line. Blazers over the limit. Spurs have committed 14 fouls. They look relatively fresh here tonight. Slow in the first quarter, then after that, it's been all San Antonio.
Mike Mitchell, the former Spur who they just picked up in the ball game. He could still score. They call the offensive foul. They call him for hooking. Tell you, Mike has bulked up a bit since the days that I remember seeing him. He looks like he's about twice the size in the upper body.
Pasta.
Yeah, but he's not fat though. I mean, he's strong.
Pasta builds muscle.
Offensive foul on Johnson Petrovic. Pasta builds muscles, huh? Yeah,
exactly.
I guess that's because you saw Sly Stallone with those muscles, figuring he's eating a lot of pasta. Huh?
Pasta. Yeah. Talk to him. That's exactly what his regimen is. 101-87. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Pasta. Orlando Woolridge. Pasta.
Joe Piscopo.
Pasta.
So give me 3 more. No.
103-87. We're down to talking about pasta. That's the kind of game this is at the late stages. Strickland running for San Antonio. Inside to Anderson. He'll get the basket and draw the foul. Anderson now has 29 and a chance to have an even 30 in this ball game. As everybody clearing the benches. Not much of a bench to clear that you're looking at now. You'll notice absent from that bench is Drexler, ejected with 3 minutes to go in the third quarter.
A good ball movement again on the part of the Spurs. Again, any Larry Brown team, the player is not working and learning how to play good team defense. You saw an example of both out here tonight on the part of the Spurs.
Danny Young drops in a triple for Portland. Spurs by 16 with under 2 minutes to play. So this goes back to Portland on the weekend in Game 7. Phoenix hoping that it'll be a triple overtime to wear out the winner. Either one of these teams, whichever one wins and advances to the Western Finals, will be the home team, as both San Antonio and Portland have better regular season records than the Phoenix Suns. Addition to Johnston from Danny Young. Willie Anderson just hit his playoff career high with 30 points.
Suns aren't worried about playing on the road now. I mean, they won 2 games in the Forum, and they hadn't been able to win a game there forever. I tell you, Bob, we got to also congratulate the Suns. I mean, they really played exceptionally good basketball. A tremendous accomplishment.
Be the first time Portland's played in Game 7. They've never had to go that far before. San Antonio only 1-4 in those games. Uwe Block will enter the game in a rare appearance. Byron Irvin from the corner. He can't get it to drop. Finally, the whistle. And it's on Irvin. So they're celebrating here at the Hemisphere Arena. As these fans know, they'll go back up there. The fans know how well San Antonio played on Tuesday night, finally losing in double overtime, overcoming a 22-point deficit. And you know that Larry Brown will be talking to his Spurs about how well they played, and with just a slight lift, how much they can get Game 7 up in Portland.
You know, Bob, I've been watching this basketball they're using. That ball's out of round. I saw it before, and I thought maybe I was seeing things. If you watch that ball rotate, that ball jiggles a little bit. That ball is not totally round. Maybe that's why Portland shot so poorly.
I think David Robinson knocked it out of round.
Why have?
Cliff Robinson on the drive. TNT will continue with NBA playoff coverage. Chicago and Detroit on Tuesday night at 8 o'clock Eastern time. That'll be a tremendous series. Caldwell Jones with the foul before Petrovic could lay it into the hoop. We have 37.6 seconds remaining at San Antonio. David Robinson tonight with a spectacular evening. 24 points, 13 rebounds, 6 block shots. The only thing Portland leads in is guards ejected. They're ahead 1-0. Here's Uwe missing a free throw.
One switch, one blob.
Exactly. 111.95. It's when you reach deep into the memory banks. Nate Johnston drops in a 2.
That's good, Johnson. Next game Saturday afternoon.
And Portland is just not going to let this end.
Game tonight, and during different parts of the game, they had an aggressive posture, but they could not maintain it. It was San Antonio that challenged Portland. Frank Rakowski picks up a foul in that situation against Drexler, and shortly after that, Drexler gets tossed out of the game, and you'll see the reaction of Rick Adelman and Clyde Drexler, as there was some confusion as to why he was tossed, but our picture showed that his elbow came up higher than Willie Anderson, and that's the reason that he gets tossed out of the ball game. And certainly that hurt Portland from that point on, to lose their best and most versatile player, even though he was struggling. Jerome Kersey tried to make some things happen for Portland, a good exchange between himself and Cliff Robinson against David Robinson, and they were able to get some opportunities to stay close, but they were never able to close the margin, and San Antonio was able to get the ball to the basket at the right time whenever Portland was challenging. Sean Elliott with that hoop. Drazen Petrovic with the lead for Buck Williams. And a reply for David Robinson. But tonight it was David Robinson who won the battle inside. His presence and the fact that the officials were not calling the fouls against him went against Portland and added to their frustration, and San Antonio continued to attack through Terry Cummings, who was quiet in the first half but broke loose in that third period of play to make a difference in Portland having any chance to close the margin. Willie Anderson was the leading scorer on the night and came out of the box with a huge ball game finish with 30 as San Antonio won comfortably.
Peaceful, high-flying affair. After all, upstart San Antonio headlined Rookie of the Year David Robinson, as smooth a center as you'll find, while Portland featured Clyde the Glide Drexler. Through the first 4 games of this series, these graceful expectations held up. In games 5 and 6, as the stakes became higher, the high wire act turned into a war. Each possession became a battle. Emotions and tempers flared. Inspired and physical play took over. And force was mixed with grace. Waiting for the start of the Western Conference Finals are those surprising Phoenix Suns. But here in Portland, it's Game 7 between the Spurs and Blazers.